Happy Tuesday. See, we have a couple people in the room here. Brenda, how's things in Australia? Retired and prepping. L. Stewart. Well, thank you for stopping in. Appreciate it. Duncan 1900 Homestead. Hello, hello. Glad to see you're here. We'll kind of let a few people straggle in here, and hopefully we'll get a nice little group. I'll just talk just a couple minutes here about our weekend. We went down to Tennessee, to the great Appalachia.
No, Cha.
Appalachia Homestead Conference, and we had a good time. It was in a new venue this year. It was a 2-day event this year, and it was a long 2 days. But as per typical, every time we seem to head out to one of these get-together meetings, meetups, or conference, or whatever, it always rains. We were in rain from the time we left the house until we got down to Tennessee. So, but anyway, it was a good time. And we did put a couple videos up, and I have some more short clips to throw together. We'll try to get those up here later this week. Finite World. Well, we're trying to recover. I'll tell you what, we rushed home last night because we knew we had Justin Rhodes on our Monday night show. And even we had some hiccups with that, but it turned out very well. It was time to get a hold of him, and I would call, and there was no response, and I'd call, and there was no response. So I called his home phone and got the answering machine, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I bet he forgot about it. So I waited a couple more minutes and continued to call, and it was time to start. So we actually started the stream without me being able to get in touch with him at all. Rebecca called me back and said they were having some technical issues, that he was working on it. So we waited a little longer, and Justin called me back and says, he was having these issues with Skype, and I think probably, as many of you know anyway, on our Monday night show, our guests Skype into us, and then I take that video and audio, and I port it into OBS and rebroadcast that so that it's live for everybody to communicate with them. And he could not get his Skype working, so we did it by phone.
Ask Brenda if she knows what this is.
Okay. Put this up here for Brenda. Supposed to ask you if you know what this is. So anyway, we had a wonderful show last night with Justin, and I left a link in the description below here. He is doing what amounts to $1,000 worth of product giveaway that's going to end in less than 2 days. So there is a link below me here that if you click on that link, you can get signed up for that. So doesn't cost anything. It explains, if you click the link, it takes you to a web page, and it explains more what it is. But It's a heck of a deal. And he did a video about it a couple days ago. So you could go over to his channel and watch the video. But you can directly sign up for that if you like to by just clicking that link that's in the description below here.
I put it in.
Okay, it's in the channel as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so on and so forth. Is that a hint? Well, I'm just passing the word. I figure anytime that that a channel does a giveaway that amounts to $1,000, either with a product or part cash or whatever, by all means, everybody ought to jump on board on that. Maniac Grammy's Homestead. Hello, how are you tonight? See, Finite World's in here. Well, it says we got about 16 people in here, but I don't know that I've seen that many. We have some lurkers. Jerome B. Farm and Homestead. Hello, hello.
Brenda, I figured it was a hint to me.
Watched a couple of your videos on the beekeeping. Found them very interesting. Jerome B. Farm and Homestead.
I think we should do a beekeeping series.
I don't know anything about beekeeping.
No, but we have enough people that we know that do.
Oh.
Bee Lady, Jerome. I mean, there's others that I think it would be interesting.
Well, and Big Bear does bees, I think.
Mm-hmm. A lot of them do.
Yeah, there's a lot of folks that do bees. So, well, okay, got an idea there. Again, obviously the video editing is must be going well for everybody. Well, Sharon Jackson, thank you so much for saying hi. We always appreciate everybody that comes in and spends some time with us. Forgot where I was at. What was I talking about? I don't know. Oh, nobody sent me any questions via email for this week. So I kind of thought maybe we would shift just a little bit and let's talk about live streaming. There's no editing with that, which is what you get. So you have to have your ducks in a row. And we use a product called OBS, or Open Broadcaster Software. We use that as our encoder. YouTube makes it very easy. You don't have to have an encoder. You can stream direct from your computer as long as you have some type of a webcam and a speaker. And most laptops have that built in. Or you can get a webcam pretty inexpensively. For as little as $30, you can get a webcam and literally go live on YouTube. Of course, you can also do it with your phone, and that works with both the iPhones and the Androids. I don't know for a fact, but I'm going to say Google phone works as well. So almost any type of phone system you have, you can do a live broadcast. But when you do that, you're pretty well limited to that camera. You're pretty well limited to that microphone. It's a little hard to do some transitions. Obviously, with a phone, you could switch it from looking at you to looking the other direction.
Hired and prepping, excuse me. To my Homestead, I've learned so much from you on Filmora. I am adding things now to my videos. I thank you so much.
Retire and prepping, you are very welcome.
I wish we could have met you when we were down there. I realize you're sick, so we will probably be down before next October, since Dana lives in East Tennessee, and we're just best buddies with Dana and Matt and the family, so we need to get together. Would love to meet you.
And Nina, good evening. How are you? I assume your trip was well getting home. Okay, I'm having a problem with Google Hangouts. It boots me out, then I'm back. I do not use Hangouts. I have tried it. I have used it some in the past. We have actually done some live streams where I have used Google Hangouts for people to connect here. That I've then ported that over to OBS to rebroadcast it to YouTube. It's not as stable. That's the best way I can say it. But if your computer has enough horsepower and you have a good internet connection, it does work pretty well, and it does have the advantage of bringing other people onto the screen with you. I'm not sure how many you can do, if it's 6, 7, 8. But generally these folks that do that call it their panel. But the one person has started the panel, and then they send out invitations to other people to join. And it's obviously a fun time for all of them. But I cannot really help you with any troubleshooting on that end of it. And I'm just glancing over here at the chat, which happens to be over here, and you're over here, or over here, and I'm over here. So if I'm not looking at you, I apologize. Hey, from Mississippi, Carl and Dawn Homestead.
You haven't missed anything yet, Nina?
Yeah, we were kind of killing a little bit of time. We just talked a little bit about this past weekend. Quite a weekend.
Nina and Terry did it right. They left a day early. That way, on Friday, they just did their excursion, so Spicy could pick up a few rocks, boulders. Then they left early on Sunday so they could go visit some other YouTubers, some preppers.
So, okay, as we mentioned, YouTube has made it very easy for people to live stream. They now have a I don't know what you would call it. They now have an app built into the Creator Studio that allows you to live stream directly from your computer, go live. So you no longer have to have the encoder sitting back. You no longer have to go through Hangouts and that kind of thing. If you want to live stream, you as an individual, you can pretty much just click on the camera icon, set up your title, make sure that you have sound and picture, and go live. So it's kind of neat. It's really kind of neat. As I mentioned, and I'm out of focus. I just noticed that. There we go. Need to turn that autofocus off on that camera. We use OBS. We use that because of the screen transitions, so that I can do things like this. And if you notice, I'm actually on a different camera now, and I'm up in the corner, and you are looking at a screen capture of what's on one of my other monitors.
Coffee Time is asking, do you have to have a certain amount of subscribers to do a live stream on YouTube?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it's if you do it on your mobile app. Wasn't that what it was? We've been doing it so long, I forget what that one thing was when they started that.
I don't know, and if there's somebody in the room here that can answer that, that sure would be a good question. I mean, well, we could, let's just Google that. Have certain number of subs to live stream on YouTube. Well, this says 100 or more. Down here says 1,000 or more. YouTube mobile streaming is open to all, no longer has a subscriber. That was May 17th, 2017. Here they dropped the minimum. I'm not getting an answer that I really like. Because these are all from other parties. YouTube live stream frequently asked questions. We'll see if we can find it here.
Yeah, the Neat World, I think it's still 100 also.
Okay. Your channel's live streaming ability will be automatically disabled for any of the following reasons. If you've received a strike, your live stream or archive live stream is blocked globally.
Brenda said I just asked Google and it asked me if I'm OCD. Yeah, I think it's 100.
Yeah, so if somebody knows better, by all means, let us know here. So anyway, we use OBS. OBS is what's called open source software. It is free. It does not cost you a dime. It's available for all three of these platforms: Windows, Apple, and Linux. Doesn't cost anything to download. Doesn't cost anything to use. The help thing is tremendous. It's very very robust. And looking at this right now, this is an example. It's using 5% of my CPU. So it's not that hard on your system. So let's just touch on a couple other things here about OBS Studio. They have a development blog, and this has some good articles in it. We'll just kind of scroll down through here. Talks a little bit about bit rates and screen resolutions and all that other good stuff. The gaming community pushes the bit rates to their limits. They try to go as high definition as possible. A lot of them broadcast at 60 frames a second. And Thus, they require a lot more bandwidth. For average viewing on a 1280 by 720, let's say, which is actually high definition, 30 frames per second, the bit rate is only required to be between 3,000 and 5,000 kilobits per second. Right now, what you're looking at, I am broadcasting at, and this varies all the time as there's movements, as the screen changes. My bit rate is 2010, 3195, 2120, 2653, 3224. So it changes all the time. If you broadcast at 1280 by 720, you have a full picture. If you drop down into some of these others, the picture will be smaller and you'll have black around it. Now, a lot of people talk about wanting to do 4K and super high definition videos. Your demographics may be a lot different to what ours are, but fully half the people that watch our videos are watching them on cell phones. They don't have a cell phone that's going to receive and give you a 4K picture. It just doesn't happen. They may take 4K, but for them to receive the data that fast and produce that picture, it's not 4K. So why broadcast it at 4K? I mean, you just need a huge pipe to do that. So there's a ton of good articles in here. This particular little YouTube video that they have embedded in this page explains very well what happens when you have what I'm going to call a busy background. And they just say why snow and confetti ruin your YouTube video quality. And it has to do with compression. It has to do with moving objects. And this video explains it very well. I'm not going to go in and play it right now. But by all means, go to the open broadcaster software. It's called obsproject.com. And have a look around if you're interested in doing some live streaming. They also have a community chat. It's free. You don't have to sign up for it. You just enter the community chat. They have tutorials. They have forums. They have the source files available. The documentation on the development. And of course, feedback for suggestion. Any of the most common asked questions, I guess, is in that. This is their forum area, and they have split it up into the 3 different operating systems that they support: Windows support, Mac support, and Linux support. Now, if you glance down through this, the number of threads and questions and messages, it's easy to see that Windows is by far the most popular platform, with Macintosh being second and Linux being third. I don't know if Grandpa's Place is in here tonight or not, but
I haven't seen him.
Grandpa's Place runs Linux.
Has OBS opened up to Mac users yet?
OBS has always been open to Mac users. Absolutely. Now, having said that, let me bring up the next screen here that I have preloaded. There's another site called Streamlabs. And Streamlabs has taken the Windows version of OBS. They have added some things to it, and they have made it freely downloadable because it is free open source software, and added a lot of, I'm going to say, goodies into this. If you get a subscriber, little things can pop up on the screen. They have a thing where you can have the chat be embedded on the screen. They have a lot of different things that you can do with this. They have what they call themes available. Again, the majority of this is for the gaming community. You can see here. But these different themes are free. They're available for anybody through this. There's no charge for it. They have alerts. This is something that's coming soon. Apparently they're going to do this so if somebody donates to the channel, they're able to plop some sort of emoji on the individual doing the stream. So Snapchat style face masks with their donations. Different things. I know this is probably kind of a small picture here, but you can see in this one where they have the chat embedded in here. This version of OBS is probably the easiest to set up and run if you have Windows. You do not have this version for Macintosh. Now they've done some additional optimization on, well, as they say, game-specific X264 and NVENC encoder settings. So they've made some custom things, again, primarily for the gamers. But if we go down through here and look at their little comparison chart here, of course the cost is free. This center one is OBS. And just for comparison's sake, XSplit is a very popular encoder that a lot of the gaming community use. That costs you a couple $100. As far as platforms, their version of OBS runs on Windows. OBS, Windows, Macintosh, and Linux. XSplit runs on Windows. Professional use covers all three of them. Open source, well, that's only on their version, which is OBS under the covers, and OBS. Real-time troubleshooter, real-time Discord support, virtual webcam output, they do not have. There's a plugin available for OBS that you can do that, and XSplit has it available. The face masks that they're talking about, they have that. Twitch and YouTube chat, stream labels, all in one dashboard, so on and so forth. So most all of their extras are geared toward the gaming community. But it's free, it's certainly worth a look, and you don't have to play games to use it. So it's certainly worth a look if you're thinking about wanting to get in and do some live streams. Some other software pieces that are available. By Telestream, they make a product called Wirecast. This is an excellent encoder. It's fully commercial. You're not going to get it for free. They have a free trial, but you can buy it starting at $695. And by the time you probably get it the way you would like it, you've got $1,000 into the software.
Subject, Brenda. I just clicked on live streaming on YouTube and it wants up encoding software.
Okay. Hold on here just a second.
So you won't get the thing there because
let me bring this into the picture here. Okay. And it's going to keep duplicating here in the center because that's what it's doing. It's looking at itself and looking at itself, looking at itself. But this is the Creator Studio page of the broadcast right now. This is our Two Family Homestead page. If we click under live streaming, we get a menu here for streaming now, events, or camera, which is new. You should be able to go into live stream and click on camera. And at that point, you will have the option to create a title, create a snapshot, and go live.
Rhodes says, I read that verified users do not have a sub requirement. Unverified users need as few as 10 to live stream.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you, Pete World.
Yes, thank you very much. Now, who was it that asked about this? Brenda.
Mm-hmm.
Brenda, does this look like the page that you have for your setup?
Brenda, have you done any videos yet? That haven't be.
I don't know.
Yeah. Dawned on me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
But anyway, and obviously I don't want to interrupt the current live stream. We would lose everybody in here. But this is where one would go to do the live stream direct from their computer. And we used this over the weekend when we did the live stream from the motel. And we had Nina behind us and
Terry,
Spicy, and
George stopped by.
Yeah. So, okay, let me get this back out of the way.
Okay, Brenda said, okay, just done what you said with clicking on camera and it let me stream.
There you go.
Woohoo!
We're in trouble now.
Yeah. We'll have to tell Paul, Brenda's dangerous now.
Okay, Wirecast, probably the biggest advantage of using the Wirecast product is with this product you can live stream to YouTube and Facebook at the same time. Now, there's a caveat to that. If you're sending out 2 live streams, you need twice the bandwidth. So you may not have enough bandwidth to do 2 simultaneous live streams. One person that I know of that uses this regularly is Boulderman Farms. They use Wirecast. They broadcast to Facebook and to YouTube at the same time. Now, Living on a Dime also broadcasts to Facebook, and to YouTube at the same time. But they do it a different way. They use a service that they broadcast to, which then turns around and rebroadcasts to YouTube and to Facebook. So they don't have the double bandwidth requirement. XSplit. Well, again, this was developed around the gaming community, but they also have it as a plain broadcast tool. It's like $300.
Right up everybody's alley.
I think most of these do have a trial version available. But again, it's an expense, and unless you're at the point where YouTube is paying you $200, $300, $400 every month, I'm not sure one needs to invest this heavily into what they're doing there. Now, there's other ways too. These are hardware encoders. Don't even need a computer. You can plug your camcorder. If it has the proper output, you can plug it directly into this and stream to YouTube. Not even go through a computer. So, and they have different models available. Let me just click on the buy button here once. Okay. That's $300. Capture cards. That one's $500, that one's $400, that one's $500. This one's $100, this one's $700. In other words, you can get a lot of money. Here the VGA DVI broadcaster is $1,600. But I just wanted to make you all aware that these kind of things are available. We use Open Broadcast. We're very pleased with it. To give you an idea, pull this down. Okay, and what you're looking at here, this is Open Broadcast Studio. In studio mode, and I have all of these pre-built scenes over here on the lower left, and within each one of these scenes, these are the items that built this scene. So I can go through here and you can see how all of this is set up. And obviously we don't have a Skype connection right now. I have it preset, so I don't have to do this every week.
White picket fence. I love OBS. I want to learn how to run a banner under it.
Okay, if you're referring to the like what we have to ask all questions in caps, is that what you're referring to?
I bet you that's what, when you have the phone number, that type of thing, maybe.
Okay, let me okay, like the please post questions in all caps.
Yes.
Is that what he's after?
Exactly. Yes, that's what they're after.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you set your scene over here with the way that what you want to do. In that particular item is questions in caps is what I titled it. I'll double click on that so you can see. I simply put in the words that I wanted. I can change the color. I can change the style of the text. I can change the opacity of the text. I can put an outline around it. So once I have that set up the way that I'd like to have it, I'll click OK. And you notice I didn't change anything. Now if I go back into this and I go into filters, there's a scroll function available. So I just set the speed. I have it on a horizontal scroll at whatever it determines to be 45, and that's what it is. Now there's other effect filters. We can change the overall coloring. We can use chroma key, which is like green screen. Color correction, color key. We can crop or edit that. The dedicated NDI output, that is a plugin that I have in, that if I wanted to, I could have OBS running on Sherry's computer over here and broadcast to this one to then rebroadcast. Could do an image mask blend, delay rendering, scroll sharpen. So those are the different filters that you can put into this. So hopefully, maybe that answers your question. And I can do this. We'll just add text, and I'll create new. Test new is what I will name it. I'll say OK. It'll bring this up, and I'll put in test new. Let me, just for the fun of it, we'll change the font to something a little crazy here. And we'll increase the size. And I'll say OK. Always starts out with it in the upper corner. I can increase the size.
Helped a lot, thank you.
And this is just like with the editing program. Sorry, it's the reverse of the editing program. The top line covers everything. As you move it down, it moves behind the objects. So if I take this test new and I move it down the row, I just put it behind the video input and you can't see it. And to delete it, you simply hit the minus key, remove it, so it's gone. All right, we'll get this back out of the way. Now, everything we've looked at has been video oriented. We've not talked about audio at all. One of the things that I find helpful, especially because we have, when we do our live streams and we have our guests, and I have different sources coming in of for the input as far as the microphone versus them coming in on Skype versus playing something on screen for you. doing either sound or playing a video or something along that line, you have to have a way to control the volume of all these different pieces. And for that, I use a product called Voice Meter. And what this is it's a mixer. It's a mixer application. It looks very much like a mixer, and if you probably notice here on the first one, this is the microphone that I'm speaking into. And actually it's off to the side of me. You can see it right here. But you can see as I talk, you can see it going up and down. I control the output of this microphone with these little buttons. So if I click this button B2, I can continue to talk, but you won't be able to hear me. So I continued talking. You could tell that by watching the meter, but my voice to you was gone. When we have a Skype call in, they're connected to this one. I use this one if I need to monitor the output from OBS. I can put my headphones on and I can check the output of OBS. These are my hardware outputs over here. So this one is headphones, speakers within the computer. This one I have not hooked up. This is the default sound coming out of the computer, flows into this channel, and that's what this one corresponds to that. And this channel is what's being broadcast to the OBS software. So if I played a video now on my computer, you would not be able to hear it until I did this. And at that point, it then goes over. This is a product called Voice Meter. It's what's called donationware. They have a quote-unquote suggested price. It is a free download to test and use as long as you want. If you find it useful for your application, they just simply ask for a donation. It can be $5, it can be $20, it can be whatever you choose it to be. This also is a recorder. That's why the little tape thing is in here. I can record everything here. OBS is also a recorder. OBS is an eight channel recorder. So both of these products, which are literally free, well, like I say, this is donationware. If you use it, like it, throw the guy a few bucks, and that's all you need to do. And I guess let me take you to will this show up? This is the website where you get it. BB Audio Software. They have a lot of fancy audio software. For those of you that might want to play with that, they have virtual cables. I use virtual cables in this to jump in between the microphone and this mixer, so that it doesn't just go blindly into the laptop. And I don't know if any of this is of any interest to any of you, but thought I'd share it. We've had some people that have asked about OBS. So I thought we'd just kind of share that a little bit tonight and let y'all kind of decide if you want to play with it a little bit or not. So, do we have any questions? Anybody say anything? So either I've bored everybody to death.
We've opened chatting. I'm sure they're listening. Oh, Grandma Rose has to do chicken chores. Bring the chickens in for the night.
Okay. So does anybody have any questions on anything that I tried to cover here this evening? I forgot. Turn the lights on. It's getting dark.
Light isn't on, is it?
No.
I don't. Yeah, usually when you're.
Yeah.
White picket fence, I had my screen full so I could see everything. And Coffee Time is listening.
Oh.
We'll get to know them a little bit better. They joined the small YouTube group on Facebook.
Well, great. Great. That's a cute name, Coffee Time.
Isn't that?
Yeah, I like that.
They have a nice little channel. Are considering OBS tutorial after your Filmora classes end. Speechless, Finite World. You
Well,
did it.
the problem, as I see it, is there's a lot of generic parts to the OBS that we can sit here and talk about, but highly integrated into your hardware. You know, if you have 32 gig of RAM of memory and an i7 quad-core computer, you have a lot more power than the person that, you know, picked up their $299 computer at the local computer shop.
White Picket Fence says, I am broadcasting on a different platform. This helps me develop my show.
Great.
Anthony World, exactly. He's speaking Greek again. That's exactly what I said.
Well, what I'm trying to say is Windows has gotten a bad rap over the years, and people still, you know, they say, well, it's so vulnerable. It's so open to people hacking it, so forth. The Windows is by far the most popular platform worldwide that computers, especially home users, use.
Sorry.
You have a Mac that you still call an Apple, and that's fine. And I was just getting ready to go there. A lot of people say that Apple computers can't be hacked and all that. That is a falsehood. Apple computers can be hacked, just like a Windows computer. Where the biggest difference that comes in is you can't build an Apple computer. That's Apple's proprietary deal where you can't go to your local computer shop and buy a processor and buy a board and buy some memory and a hard drive and some different things and throw it all together and say, oh yeah, I have an Apple computer. You can't do that. Because of that, that's why they have fewer issues. The Windows operating system was designed, number one, to be easy. Number two, to try to fit everybody. And because of that, it hurt them. Years ago, they had it wide open. They said this way you don't have to do special things to get something to work. It's, if you would, plug and play. They developed the plug and play. Problem is that there's so many different hardware brands. You have your Dells, you have I'm not sure Gateway's still around, but you have HP, and you have hundreds and hundreds of little computer shops that are making their own computers and putting their own brand on them, that the Windows operating system works on. Well, because of all these different hardware functions, that's one of the reasons it has shot Windows in the foot from a security standpoint. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. So, anyway, if you want to do some encoding, if you want to step up your game a little bit from just doing a go live now, I would certainly suggest that OBS would be the first thing I would look at. And actually, at this point in time, if you are using a Windows computer, this may be the version. Go to streamlabs.com, because this is pretty much plug and play. A lot of the settings are already done in this. If you download the bare bones OBS, you have to do all the settings. You have to tell it what you want it to do, whereas this is pretty well already set up for you. Tim and AB's Homestead. Good evening. Okay. Any questions by anybody? Give them a couple minutes here. Oh, and for those of you maybe wondering, the little blue line you see in the screen right here, that's the webcam that's pointing at Sherry. It's on, but not on the screen, and I don't dare put it on the screen. So, but I wanted you to know that if you saw this little blue line, you can't erase it off your screen. That's just catching a little bit of the webcam off to the side. I guess I need to move that a little. No questions? Well, see, it's Tuesday night, 1870s Homestead.
Yes.
Should be starting their stream here in...
Oh, it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah. So. Okay, Grandma Rose. So, thank you all for coming. Everybody have a wonderful week. If you have an interest in being a guest on our live stream, please send us an email. If you have questions, either with OBS or with Filmora, or just in general computing questions, I'm going to quantify that, very general computer questions. Feel free to send us an email. And the link below, you only got a little over a day left to get signed up for that $1,000 Justin Rhodes giveaway. So you can You have a question. Backyard Eden Sustainable Urban Homestead. Nice name on your channel there. Go ahead, I'm listening. Or I'm watching. Yeah, be quiet. I'm not very good at just filling dead air. I apologize. Started prepping. Tim and Amy, we appreciate you being here. Red Duchess Farm.
I agree, Mark. Brendan needs to start putting up some videos.
I think that Mark needs to be on our Monday night show.
I think so also.
Mark.
I said that. Mark and Jamie. That would be awesome.
I know you're not out making soil blocks at
No, they just got done a little bit ago. That's why they're here.
Well, yeah, and this would be the time that the live stream just starting on Monday night. So
exactly.
Okay, I'm kind of just hanging on here because somebody.
Yeah, Backyard Eden. What was your question?
Yeah, Backyard Eden had a question, so I'm kind of hanging on here.
Night, Jerome B. Farm.
Jerome B. Farm, thank you very much for stopping in. Always appreciate you being here, and I am enjoying your videos. Red Duchess Farm, when things slow down.
They have a greenhouse. He means in the winter.
I was going to say, things slow down. Name is Homestead.
I think their greenhouse puts Green Valley to shame. I've watched Jamie in the greenhouse. Wow. Huge.
Check and see if they're still here.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Folks, it's 9:04. I know that 1870s Homestead, their live stream is going full bore now. So
yeah.
By the end of next week. Okay, we'll get in touch with you, Mark. Sounds good. So we're going to go ahead and let everybody go do their thing and go watch that 1870s Homestead live stream, and we will see you all next Monday.
Yeah.
Anybody would like to be a guest? We need a guest for next Monday. Just saying.
Backyard Eden.
Email us.
Yeah, send me an email, twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com. Terry Hyatt, bye. Thank you for stopping. It's just me, Sarah. Thank you for stopping by. Red Duchess, have a great week.
Night, everybody.
So. See you all later. Good night.